Okay, so you want to buy an airport. Not a private airstrip for your Cessna. A real one. Runways, terminals, jet bridges, the whole thing. Here's the strange part. An airport is one of the only businesses on Earth where the thing that makes people think you're rich, the planes, barely makes you any money at all. The real fortune is hiding in the parking garage, the Starbucks, and a formula so boring the airlines themselves helped design it to protect their own wallets. Airports come in 4 price tiers, and each one is a completely different business. The cheapest entry point is a private grass airstrip, around $100,000. Step up to a small charter airport for private jets and business aviation, and you're in the $10 to $20 million range. A regional commercial airport runs anywhere from $200 million to $500 million. Hong Kong International and Japan's Kansai Airport both cost around $20 billion to build from scratch. That's not a typo. But here's the thing nobody tells you going in. You almost never build one of these from the ground up. You lease one. Aerostar paid $615 million upfront just for the right to operate it, on top of a further $550 million, on top of a $1.2 billion capital commitment. That's nearly $2.4 billion in obligations before a single extra dollar of profit shows up. If leasing a whole airport feels too heavy, there's a lighter version. Terminal-only partnerships. JFK's new Terminal 1 is a $9.5 billion project. You'd assume the planes are the business. They're not. Under the most common structure in America, called residual rate setting, you're legally obligated to set your landing fees just high enough to cover your costs. Not to profit. So where's the real money? Everywhere the passenger walks after they clear security, and everywhere their car sits while they're gone. Parking alone represents over 40% of all non-aeronautical income. A large hub can pull in $50 to $150 million from parking lots alone. A concrete structure with painted lines on it out-earns half the restaurants in your terminal. Every passenger who gets dropped off instead of parking is a small hole in your biggest revenue stream. Below parking sits retail and food, plus advertising on every wall and video screen in the building. None of it looks as glamorous as owning runways. All of it is where the actual profit lives. First, the capital plan. Nearly every long-term airport lease comes bundled with a mandatory renovation commitment, hundreds of millions to over $1 billion. Second, the regulatory relationship climbed to a straight 10% of everything, gross, not profit, by the last decade of the lease. Fourth, and this is the one that quietly bankrupts operators, staffing. You cannot furlough a runway. You cannot furlough the fire department. Put it together, and a mid-size regional airport can burn tens of millions a year just existing, before a single dollar of profit clears. Cost per enplanement. It's the single number that determines whether airlines keep flying to your airport at all. Chicago's Midway Airport. In 2008, Chicago tried to privatize Midway in a deal worth $2.5 billion. The winning bidder had to walk away. One bad market cycle, and an entire industry in one country stalled out for over a decade. Image prompt, full-screen dark navy. Puerto Rico's Aerostar deal only pencils out because Aerostar locked in decades of predictable growing tourism traffic to San Juan. Swap that traffic for a market that shrinks, and the same $2.4 billion commitment turns into the same trap. You don't control your own demand. Fuel prices spike, airlines cut routes. A recession hits, business travel disappears first. A single airline goes bankrupt and pulls out of your hub entirely. You didn't do anything wrong. The math just turned on you. Scenario 1, a small regional airport terminal partnership. Investment, roughly $200 million, net profit lands around $8 to $10 million a year. Scenario 2, a major hub terminal concession, net profit after every cost, somewhere between $80 and $120 million a year. The planes get you the crowd. The crowd never actually pays you for the planes. They pay you for the coffee, the rental car, and the spot where they left their car for a week. You're not in aviation. You're in real estate that happens to have a runway attached.